And welcome inside the Backstage Pass. It is a Friday TGIF version, always a good thing there. Heading into a holiday weekend, and for some people, like myself, you get the next 8 or 9 days off due to the Thanksgiving holidays. So happy early Thanksgiving to everybody out there. Here as we're live on the YouTube channel and always at the Sports Guys Podcast.com, presented by our friends over at Bangtail Whiskey. And for the Friday show, looking forward to this for quite some time. She's a good friend of the show, and a damn good artist too. I'm gonna say about that. She's got a new EP out there called All About Love with 6 fantastic songs. Tiffany Woys here on the program. How's it going?
I'm doing really, really good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm on vacation for the next 10 days. I'm enjoying this.
Then you're having a really good day.
Yeah, get that glass of Bangtail whiskey or any other alcoholic beverage, and we're going to be good going into the weekend. Traveling tomorrow, so kind of taking it easy tonight, just enjoying it, and be with the wife and the daughter, have a good time there too. And I'll tell you what, you got a lot going on too. We're going to talk and dive all into this EP and hear you sing a couple of songs today. But tell me about this. You've actually are going to step into the host seat and do one of these things called a podcast coming up here real soon. Tell us all about this new and exciting project that you're kind of, getting your feet out there, putting your toe in the water, and you get to step into my seat here. I'm looking forward to hearing all about this, and tell the listeners out there, the viewers, how excited you are.
I'm so excited because it's so different for me. But I had this concept about 3 or 4 years ago, but the original concept was like a YouTube series.
Mhm.
And I thought I was going to what I wanted to do was interview songwriters that I have personally cut their music. And then I realized really quickly that show wouldn't last very long, and I wouldn't have enough material to have an actual podcast, because I wanted to see where our lives overlapped. I wanted to see, okay, I cut a song for a reason. I've attached my life to it somehow. They wrote it for a reason. And it made me think, okay, we are all really connected in more ways than we even think. And then 2020 happened, and podcasting just blew up. And it was able for me to expand the thought of the show and turn it into a podcast. And then from there, I was like, you know what? I just want to interview songwriters. I want to be more a part of the songwriting community, not in the sense of me as a songwriter, but getting to know their stories, getting to know how they feel about the music industry. I just feel like we're not asking them enough. And here's how I know for a fact now. Every time I've done an episode, I haven't had somebody get out of the seat next to me and be done with the interview in less than like 3 hours. Everyone just keeps wanting to talk. And I say that in a good way. And it made me realize we need to give them the microphone more often. Like in Nashville, I don't know if you see it, but a lot of people, it's like, it feels like routinely. People post on Instagram or on their stories, we need to support the songwriter. We need to help the songwriter. But then nobody does anything about it. And it started to frustrate me. I was like, okay, I want to do something about it. And maybe I can't fix it. I can't make it all better, but I can be a small yet hopeful, impactful step into creating some change for them. And I knew just talking about the stories behind the songs is great. But I wouldn't say it's necessarily creative. I think that people do that already. So I wanted to take it one step further and go, no, let's get their opinion on Nashville. Let's get their opinion on the music industry. Good and bad. I don't shy away from any of it. And I always let them reserve the right to not answer any questions. I try and give pretty hard-hitting questions. And because I guess I just don't have any fear anymore. Yeah. If you would have asked me that 5 years ago about being fearful of I guess, being canceled or having someone worry about, maybe I would have said something different. But I want to make a change, and let me tell you that change and big things don't happen when you stay within 4 comfortable walls.
That's true. And that's what I took that leap of faith after, 18 years in the radio business, which I spent for AM FM for a long time. And I loved the people I worked with and learned so much, and still talk to some friends who were in the radio business full time. And then I made a career shift change, and you always worry and you're fearful about, do I want to do this? And then I had I guess you could say epiphany back in 2018 toward the end of that year. And 2019, I'm sitting there one day and I'm like, well, I love the two things, sports and music. And if I don't take a walk on the wild side, I'll never know. You learned enough, surely, in the business to push it forward. Well, what is podcasting? Let's figure out all about it. But let's dive deep more into it too, because I'm with you on the fact is, and I've done a few of these here on here recently. Bernie Nelson, who came on last week, fantastic songwriter in his career. I wanted to get more from the artist perspective and the songwriter perspective. So I can't wait to see these episodes come out and really you dive more into the good and the bad of the music industry, because I know there's a lot of things that go on that have to be in the bad category. Not them saying anything's bad or whatever, but you have to really get it from both sides, the artist perspective and the songwriter perspective, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Which is a big thing, no doubt. And I can't wait to hear you hosting this. And as far as the episodes, where are you looking to put these out? Where can people catch them? Have you done a couple already?
Oh, we only released 5 today.
Oh, really? Okay. All right.
There were 2 guests, and they're all broke because I don't believe in cutting people off. I want them to talk, say whatever you need. This is your time. And so we are just dividing them all up. I don't feel like editing out too much unless they want it that way. So we released 5, and I've interviewed, I think, about 10 guests so far. So we have backlogged a bit, and when we're working towards getting new guests every day, and I'm so excited.
I can't wait to see who you have and what you've already put out there too, as far as it goes. I guess a YouTube channel. Are you looking to do pretty much where everybody can get podcasts out there, Apple and iHeart, things like that?
We're not filming it yet. We're letting it be audio only right now, and here's why. I find that these songwriters are artists. They're not on camera a lot, and I want real, authentic answers. I want them to be able to come in their sweats and a sweatshirt or whatever and just feel comfortable and just say what they want to say. Sometimes when you feel like you're being filmed, you got to be all buttoned up and perfect, and I don't want them to have to feel that way. So maybe down the road we'll get there, but I don't know. Not yet.
Yeah, the first several hundred shows I'd done, you're right. That's where I was kind of just all audio and keeping that going. And then you hit a track where things change, and you change with it too, because change can be a good thing, no doubt. And you go to video, and of course, I still do both now, the sports side and of course the music side too. Well, let me dive into this album, because I think this is again a great EP that you guys have put out, All About Love. I know you released it as a single, and then titled the EP All About Love. Tell me about this, because I know there's been a great response in your camp from the song selection on there. The writing is fantastic. The people you worked with on this project is amazing. I know. Tell me some stories. And this had to be a lot of fun getting this music out to your fans.
Yeah, I mean, and again, so I came to town very well knowing what I wanted to do for this phase of my career so far. I wanted to cut songs I didn't write. It's part of my story. It's it was intentional. So when people like sit down and talk to me about it, and it seemed like it was a fluke or something, no, it was intentional. I wanted to be a vehicle for good songs. I wanted to be a vehicle for really good songwriters and storytelling. That's why I fell in love with country music, was the storytelling. And at the end of the day, the best song wins. That's how I always really considered it. I don't think that whether it's my words or somebody else's, but at the end of the day, I have to relate myself to those words. I mean, that's my job. And that's what meant so much about all my music up to this point. And I'm actually going to start my next project. I'm pretty much a co-writer on everything, which is completely new for me. And I think that's exciting too. But I love being a vehicle for songs. I don't think that anyone should shy away from that. I don't think it should be looked down upon. And that's what was so fun about this project, was able to build a body of work of songwriters that I really love and I want to help embrace and help lift up and help celebrate. And I was able to find my story within their words.
Yeah, I know and I tell you, it's been a while since I chatted with you too. We of course we ran into each other at the Omni for CRS this past year, and I know we talked a lot about Do You, which came out in 2020. But since then, you put out a great selection of music, and again, I loved what y'all did with About Love. Just a great song that really resonates with a lot of people out there. The lyrics are fantastic, and that had to be fun just releasing it as a single before you guys come out with the full EP. Tell me about just the steps in going through that particular song and kind of the backstory of About Love.
Well, one, I love Sarah Hayes. I haven't gotten her on the show yet, and I've cut pretty much everything of hers. And so, and I adore her. I think she is one of the best songwriters in all of Nashville, and I almost don't even think she's gotten the credit that she deserves. And she is a co-writer on that song as well. And I had a hard time figuring out what I wanted to name the EP, and I realized what I love singing about. Love. Good, bad, ugly, happy, sad, angry. I think that is probably, love is such a universal language, and so is music. It's very universal. So what better way to talk about all the things that we all relate with is love. I mean, we've all fallen in love, we've fallen out of love, we've gotten our heart broken. It's something we can all relate on in a world full of things where we feel like we're arguing so much about everything else, that we can actually relate on a topic because we all know the feeling. And so I had this song already about love, and then I was like, okay, but what's this EP encompassing? It's all about love. And it's something that I will always like singing about, because I went through so much getting to the point of finding my one and my person. And I always considered I don't know if you probably don't watch Sex in the City, and that's okay. But there was
seen a few episodes I've had to watch with the wife, but not like a intense fan, but it's still the decent show, the ones that I've seen.
What it is.
Yeah.
I always compared myself to the character Charlotte. She was the hopeless romantic. She's the one that wore her heart on her sleeve, and she always wanted to find that love. And that was me. And not because I'm desperate, but because I wanted to find the person I spend the rest of my life with. I think everyone secretly kind of wants that. Even the bitter ones that say they don't, you do. So I like singing about it because I like giving you the hope of it all, but I also like giving you the sad stuff too, to let you know you're not alone, because everyone goes through it. This isn't something that is super unique to one person. We should all come together and realizing that we're all going to have our heart broken. It's going to happen. And also, don't be scared to fall in love just because of past heartbreaks. Lean into it, jump, because you don't know what's going to happen. I mean, I met my fiance now 30 days after getting broken up with.
Isn't that crazy? Wow.
And, I didn't tell him that right away, because I think he thought that he was a rebound or something, but he wasn't. But you just don't know. You have to keep jumping. Because if you're never going to find the person home. You're just not.
And I can tell you this, as you know, I got married at 30 and found my one, and we're about to celebrate our 12th wedding anniversary here in a few weeks. And again, a baby girl too as well, to love, hold, cherish, enjoy it. And you're right. Life just takes you on these journeys, and you just never know. And I love it. You do that through this whole EP, is talk a lot about love, both good, bad, ugly, every side to it too, again. So I'll tell you what, I'm going to turn it over to you. Ready to hear you sing to it. And guys, thanks for keep the comments coming here. Roy, thanks for tuning in. He says, saw her in Frederick, Maryland. Loved her show. Yes, I've not seen her live, but I've everybody has told me Tiffany's show is definitely a good one, no doubt, too. So I can't wait to get out there. So thank you, Roy.
I didn't let you see him, too, because he is important.
Yes, I'm going to get off camera. You're going to see both you guys on the camera, too. So what's up first? What would you like to perform?
We're only singing one song. I feel so bad, but we're only doing one.
Let's just do that one song. That's fine.
So it's I Don't Want You Back. It's the single at radio right now. And this one was really special to me. I think we've all had the push in the pool of, do I be with him? Do I not be with him? And this one kind of goes out to my sister, because she went through something really hard, and I did the whole music video about it. And that was really hard, but it was really healing for the whole family, I think. So I really encourage everyone to watch the music video. It was really special. So this is I Don't Want You Back.
Here we go.
I don't want to hear your name, and I don't want to see your face. Don't wanna know how you're doing from a friend of a friend, or get a drunk dial at 2 a.m. saying I miss you. I don't wanna wonder about a girl, if she makes you dance, or if she twirls around. I don't really care if you're smoking again, and I don't wanna run into you pretending that I don't want you back so bad. Breaking in my heart, slipping through the cracks. No, don't call me tonight, 'cause I'm trying to forget all the reasons I love you. I don't want you back. I don't want you back. I I don't want you back. I don't want to lie awake to the very last minute of my birthday, hoping you're alone and you're thinking of me, staring at your phone and you're thinking the same thing, that I don't want you back so bad, breaking in my heart, slipping through the cracks. No, don't call me tonight, 'cause I'm trying to forget all the reasons I love you. I don't want you back. I don't want you back. I don't want you back. Sometimes I want to wait so I can hear your voice again, that I don't want you back so bad, breaking in my heart, slipping through the cracks. No, don't call me tonight, 'cause I'm trying to forget all the reasons I love you. I don't want you back. 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 I don't want you back.
Love it. Great job there. Love it right there. I don't want you back, which is the one they're pushing the radio. Tiffany Woys here on the Backstage Pass. All About Love is the current EP, and of course the podcast is out there where you guys find podcasts on the audio side too. So a lot going on there too. If you guys have any comments, feel free to leave them there in the comment box, and we'll get to as many as we can. About time to pay some bills here on the podcast. If I don't, then I don't get paid. That's how this thing works here in podcast radio too. We'll take a word from our holiday drink, Bangtail Whiskey, bangtail.com, or the Easy Liquor app. Best place to get your bottle there. It's the holiday drink of mine. It should be yours out there too as well. Bangtail Whiskey, here's how it's made. A little background on it too, and we'll come back with Tiffany, and we're still going to have a little fun on a lot of cool things here on the Backstage Pass. It's a Friday, and happy early Thanksgiving to everybody out there in radio, I guess, and podcast land. Quick timeout, more with Tiffany Woys here on the Backstage Pass. Stay tuned.
The Bangtail pour is comprised of a sweet corn mash base. The front has a subtle sweetness and not too sharp. It has notes of a medium char or white oak for a smoky flavor in the middle, and the tail has a super smooth and warm finish.
Go behind the scenes with some of the biggest artists in music today with the Backstage Pass, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. Join Brandon Morrill and his co-host Kirsty Krause as they talk to rising stars and legends about their music careers. Listen to their latest tracks and learn fun facts about the men and women behind the music you love. And be sure to tune into the Backstage Pass Monday through Friday from 3:30 to 6:30, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. And welcome into the Backstage Pass. And, of course, coming up on Monday, we're going to do a little bonus show, as I got word just today. The artist known as Tiffany, you might know her from the 80s. She was big back then. She's going to join us for a little matinee Monday coming up with a new album. 1:30, actually, this Monday. Tiffany, the artist known as Tiffany.
You were saying, you were making a joke, and then I go, wait, no, are you serious?
I know. It's actually going to be, it's Tiffany Woys on a Friday, and then the artist as Tiffany on Monday. So ironic how that happened, but I just got word today that Tiffany will be dropping by. She'll be promoting her new album called Shadows. It's due out next Friday, November 25th. And yeah, she's still going strong out there too. So
wait, fun fact. Please tell her I'm named after her.
I will do that just for you. That'll be the first thing I say to her.
I'm
no
named
doubt.
after her, which is so cool. So I was supposed to be named Amber. And then literally in the delivery room, over the speakers was, I think we're alone now. And then, they said, and that was artist Tiffany. And my mom goes, I like that name, Tiffany. And that's how I got named.
I love that story. I will be sure and tell her that about it just after her. What a coincidence that happened to be Monday at 1:30 here on the Backstage Pass. We'll have about 15, 20 minutes with one of the legends out there, icon in music. She's done it all. And of course, I'm sure there'll be some interesting stories that come out from her over the last 20, 30 years in the music industries. But her new album, Shadows, comes out November 25th. And we'll be talking to the artist known as Tiffany out there too, and Tiffany Woys joining us here on the Backstage Pass today. So ironic how that worked itself out. I did not have a hand in it. Well, maybe I did, but then again, timing is everything, right?
Weird fate things happen all the time where it's just kind of like odd, like because like what are the chances, right? Like I haven't heard Tiffany's name in I mean I don't know, never. So that is actually really, really funny. That's funny.
I like how you made my day by doing it. I was thinking about that the whole time during the first segment. I said I better make that announcement before I just don't make that announcement. Just I can't forget about something like that. I cannot, especially with you being on the show today. Again, All About Love is across all the digital platforms. Make sure you guys go get that as a stocking stuffer stream. Get her numbers up through the roof, and of course, we'll be there for CRS 2023 in Nashville, March 13th. 14th and 15th of 2023. As we kind of close this year a little bit, and I've asked artists even a couple of days ago, and we'll do this all the way up even after the Thanksgiving holidays. As we close this year and go into next year, what are you most thankful for right now?
Oh, family. Family and health. I think, my mom just recently broke her arm. She fell in the backyard. And it just makes me like, I had a really hard time. Like I've never been like scared of losing. I haven't really lost a lot of people I lost my grandparents, but I haven't really lost a lot of people in my life. I've been very fortunate. And then just the littlest of thing of like seeing like, your mom like fall and break her arm or I am very thankful that I still have both of my parents and, my sister, and that I'm really thankful. And I'm also really, and on a total opposite note, which is very polar opposite, I'm really thankful for like platforms like you and country radio that continue to like support me play my music during coronavirus and all that, because I think what happened is a lot of people wanted to fall into things they felt comfortable with. So a lot of people weren't looking for new artists. So it would make a lot of sense if people weren't pushing people that nobody knew, because a lot of people fell into like the comfortable zones. Like what makes me feel safe? What makes me feel at home? And a lot of that wasn't new people, like discovering new people. And platforms like you and country radio were like still playing my singles, which was so helpful because it kept my music still out there and I guess decently relevant in a sense where I could still continue to do what I do. Because I know so many artists that had to like pack up and go home, and not because they didn't, not because they wanted to. They literally couldn't. They couldn't survive paying bills, making music. Making music costs money, and people don't realize this. Like, I don't think people totally get the idea of being an independent artist, and nothing against the average person that doesn't know these things, but this is what I like to shine a light on. First of all, it takes a village, and it takes a lot of investing in yourself, and not just emotionally, but financially. It's hard. And for that to happen in 2020, and for like tours and everything else, and everything just gets shut down. People weren't recording music. It shut down people as artists. Like they had to go home. And I was very, 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 very fortunate to where, one, I had a very supportive family, but on top of that, I had platforms and people that still kept me out there for me to continue to do what I do. And that I couldn't be more grateful for.
Well, that's what we do here. Like I said, I've done north of the 2,000 show mark in the last 4 years. It's been nuts, but it's been, again, just you guys keeping us going, keeping you going, two-way street, no doubt. And I love the fact that, we can showcase so much talent here on the show. And, it has come very far. And I look forward to just as you do and everybody out there, a very blessed 2023 and safe and healthy, and just glad I can take this next 10 days off. Don't have to punch a lot of buttons, send a bunch of emails, although it will continue to happen in some aspect, one or two. But it's a big thing. And then, like I said, definitely, like I tell people, you don't just land on an artist like Tiffany if you haven't been grinding, working hard, yourself included. And then you mix in all the independent artists like yourself out there, and then you get to sprinkle in, the legends that come by too over the last, few years. It's been a blessing here. That's why I really want to tune in to your podcast and hear it from the songwriters and get their perspective on the industry. And, like I said, the good, the bad, the ugly. and bring them to light, and talk about all those different things that have made them want to continue writing songs that either they record or somebody has to put there. And you're right about the industry being tough because studio time costs. I know writing a song is never easy to just get somebody to record out there, and you have to send a bunch of emails and demos and things like that. And then putting a record, I've had artists say this record costs $30,000, $40,000, $50,000. It's crazy depending on your studio time, your record time. So all these things I love to hear from people like yourself and the songwriters, because there's a lot more that goes into it than people just think. It's like, we're gonna get up on stage, play this show, all the glitz and glamour, things like that. So much goes on behind the scenes, and I can't wait to have you uncover that with the songwriters on your podcast. And I should have asked you the name of your podcast. I'm sorry for not doing that at the beginning. What is the name of it?
What's Mine Is Yours.
Mine Is Yours. I love the title. There you go. See, it was a good host.
About it, which was so weird. I had a really hard time thinking about the name. I was actually trying to come up with like puns with my last name. They were horrendous. And then I went to sleep one night, and I have a really strong relationship, with God and my own, and I really think it was a God thing. It came to me in my sleep of what it would be like, and it just flashed in my head, what's mine is yours. And I think it's because it starts with us, songwriters, artists, and then we give it to the public to be yours. So what starts off as ours, mine is now yours.
I love that. Great title for a great show. You're going to do a great job. I can't even, I'm actually going to go out there and pull up an episode. When we're done here, we get a chance to listen to it and see who you've had on, and just kind of coast into the evening listening to your great podcast too. Hey, tell me about on that record too, All About Love. There was one that struck me too in a good way. Own This Town. Tell me a little backstory of that one.
Oh my gosh. So another one that was co-written by Sarah Hayes.
Mm-hmm.
Totally, I just love the girl.
I got to get her on my show now, Sarah Hayes. I
honestly really think so. And now she does a lot of background vocals for really big artists, which I think is, she wrote Riot for Rascal Flatts.
Okay.
So one, I'm a big fangirl, but so for Own This Town, this was the first song that I have released that is coming from a perspective of not of my own. I had a boyfriend growing up. He was always in love with his ex-girlfriend, and I knew it. Like, it was like that was something that they should have ended up together. I mean, they were truly magically in love. So I was kind of releasing that song from his perspective about how he lives in a very small country town in California. He lives like on a dairy farm, and he was tormented in town because every turn he took, he saw her. And I think he knew that was the one that got away, and he kind of messed that up. And spoiler alert, they still didn't end up together. And it's very odd for me to say that I was encouraging me at the time, but I knew he wasn't for me. He wasn't my guy, he ended up being like a good friend afterwards. And I was just like, you're meant to be with this girl. You know that, right? And she's married and happy with kids, but it's just like, I feel like the what ifs are so crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is out there. Like you said, that you never know how songs are going to relate to people, but a great song idea behind every story and behind every song was a great idea behind it. And love the fact that you're able to bring these songs to life. All right, I'm going to have a little fun and closure. I'm going to do a little rapid fire because Kirsty and I love doing this too. I know she's busy right there, probably doing a performance tonight or playing a show out there too. And definitely, do miss her here on the podcast. But I got to have a little fun. For the holidays, is there a traditional place you go? Do you guys stay in Nashville? Do you travel? And then if you do, where do you go? Where do you celebrate Thanksgiving, and who does the cooking?
So now for Thanksgiving, I go to Cincinnati, Ohio with my fiance's family. Mm-hmm. And so that's where he's from. So I guess go Bengals, hooday. That's our Wi-Fi password now. So I
like that. There you
go. For Christmas, I go to Sacramento, but for Thanksgiving, we go to Cincinnati now, which I love because his mom, my soon-to-be mother-in-law, is a phenomenal cook, and she makes everybody an individual pie, like everybody in the family. Everyone puts in their requests of what pie they want, and she makes it. I go, sweet woman, you do not need to make this many pies, and she doesn't ask anybody for help, and I'm like, come on, everyone jump in. But she has 3 boys, and they all just want to watch football. They don't want to help. Because I can't boss the other 2 around, but I can look at my fiance and say, get up. This is ridiculous. But for Christmas, I go to Sacramento. When I'm sure things will change along the way once I get married, it'll be back and forth. But Christmas is big traditions. My mom makes big gingerbread houses. She goes big on Christmas. We are big Christmas people. And she just loves the celebrating. My house literally feels where I grew up feels like the North Pole. Like you walk in, it's like magic. It gets straight magic. And it's really, really special. Yeah, but you know what's weird is we actually celebrate Christmas Eve at the Outback Steakhouse.
Well, that's a good place to celebrate.
I guess it was my grandpa's one of his favorite places, and it was my mom's dad. And my mom has had a really hard time since he's passed, and so we try to like bring a little of him still back into our family. So we celebrated Outback, and we don't have to clean any dishes that night, so it's kind of nice.
Yes, I'll say about that. Sometimes it is better to eat out because you don't have to clean any of those dishes out there too. All right, with that big lottery that happened there, about a week ago, the guy in California that won it. And then now I see the mega creeping back up to, damn near like 300 million. Let's say Tiffany Woys had those winning numbers. What's the first thing she would have done with the money?
Oh, I don't know. That's so tricky because like the right thing is to say charity, right?
Yeah, that's my case would have been like long vacation, fill in the blank. Where do you want to go? Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I would definitely, because you can only have so much of it, right? And spend so much money. I really feel like you'd run out of things to spend it on. So some of it really would go to probably some charities. I'm sure of it, guys. But since we just bought a new house, I'd probably be doing a lot in the house. And I would like to, this is actually really real, and this isn't me fibbing. I would like to repay my parents back everything they've invested in me in my music career. Because they've really helped me a lot, because little jobs don't get all of this done, especially on the level that you want to do it. And I'm really forthcoming about it because I don't believe in omitting anything. And I would love to just pay them back everything. I know they'll never expect it. They'll never want anything back for helping me achieve my dreams, but I want to get it back really bad.
I'm with you on that too. Like I said, it's give back to the people that have given to you. That's a great way, and just the sacrifices they made. And I'm with you on that too. Well said, no doubt. All right, last show you got to binge watch, and then I guess on top of that too, what was the last song played on your iTunes playlist?
Okay, last show I binge watched was the Love Is Blind last season.
Okay.
That or Dahmer. Both are pretty bad.
Dahmer's pretty. Yeah, I heard a lot of people say that too. Yeah.
I'm a typical girl in the sense that I'm obsessed with true crime. Why are we so obsessed with true crime? I don't get it. Because I'm critical of it, but I still am obsessed with it. So Love Is Blind, and Dahmer, very two opposite ends, but both very entertaining, right? I guess. Last song on my, let's see here. It was something. Oh, the last song that I really played because I just bought it today was Ashley Cook. Her new single she just released, "Running Back."
Yeah, she was on here with us a while back, and I said, "You're just like my friend Tiffany Woys. You're going places, and boy, she's gone." Ashley Cook
she's gone. She's
gone. She's at the moon and back, I guess you could say, because it is fantastic too. And I know we're going to see you. We just had those CMAs last week, and I can't wait to see you be nominated in a lot of those categories too, because the music speaks from the heart. Now you've got the podcast to go along with it too, to hear the real stories, both good, bad, ugly, and everything in between from some of the best songwriters out there. Please let them know. I would love to have them on my brand here and talk to them about their stories. I hope they'd have a good time here on my show. All About Love is out there across all the streaming platforms nationwide. And make sure you check out the podcast wherever you get your podcasts out there from Tiffany. And, of course, check out Tiffany Woys with a W.com out there, too, on the website for the tour schedule. Hey, rest of the year is going to be a blur. Happy, healthy rest of 22. And the same thing for 2023. Let's do this again. And I'll see you at CRS, I'm sure, at the Omni, right?
Absolutely. You'll see me.
Well, looking forward to it. Thanks always for keeping me in mind and always coming back on, giving us the time, and best of luck with the projects, the new music, and a safe, happy, and healthy 2023. Looking forward to it.
Same to you. Thank you so much for having me.
Tiffany Woys here on the program Monday. We back to back there. Tiffany, the artist, I'll be telling her about Tiffany Woys, how she was named after her. 1:30, November 21st. We'll be talking about Shadows, due out November 25th. Which is her new album coming out there the day after Thanksgiving. And, of course, we'll be in Helotes, Texas, Next Friday night, Josh Ward and David Adam Burns, Texas country music at its best. Hell, Josh just played the Grand Ole Opry there just a few, I think it was last week, I want to say. Had the big show out there in Nashville, Tennessee. Talking to Josh and, of course, David Adam Burns coming up in December, Noah Thompson, and a whole lot more. Richard Fortis, Guns N' Roses, coming up in December, too, as well. Looking forward to that and seeing what the rest of 2022 brings. We'll see you guys next week, Monday, about 1:30 with the artist known as Tiffany here on the Backstage Pass. Until then, have a safe, happy, healthy Thanksgiving. We'll see you soon. Take care.